Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Lee Marie and I make videos about candles and business. And in today's video, I wanted to tackle something that I think is kind of confusing to a lot of new makers. And so I thought I would just let you know the differences between wholesale, private label, and white label. Now, as a candle business owner, I think it's important not only to know the differences, but also to incorporate each one into your business. Each one of them can be great opportunities, can be profitable for you, but the pricing and everything is really going to depend on what you're getting out of it and what the differences are. So without further ado, let's get started. So a lot of the words that are thrown around in candle groups like Facebook are things like, does anybody wholesale? I have someone that wants private label. Hey, this person's looking for white label. And from what I've seen from the comments, a lot of people are confused as to what the difference is between the three. So that's what I'm gonna go over with today. So the first one is what I think is the most important and kind of the bread and butter, if you will, of a successful candle business, and that's wholesale. Now, wholesale basically just means that you are selling your candle, your brand, your product that you normally sell to everybody. You're selling it to a store, a retailer, and you're doing so at a discount. Now, a very general idea of a discount is 50%. So for example, if a candle costs you $10 to make, you would sell it to this retailer for $20, so that's twice as much, and they would sell it for $40. So that's where the 50% is. So you're giving it to them for $20, they're selling it for $40. Now, why is this such a good idea for candle business? Well, what retailers have is something that a lot of candle makers don't. They have a storefront. Storefronts are obviously very expensive, and a lot of established retailers have very good foot traffic. They're available in areas you might not be, able to access for pop-ups or markets. And so I think it's really important when you're starting out as a candle business to try and figure out what retailers you could partner with and create a wholesale relationship. So again, wholesale, you're taking your candle, your product, you're selling it at a 50% discount, usually, not always. Some retailers do like to negotiate, and they might come up with a lower percentage. So just keep that in mind, that it's not always going to be a flat 50%, but 50% I think is a good starting point. So, so you're selling them your candle or product at 50% of the retail price, and they are then selling it at the retail price. Now, the one thing I really love the most about wholesale, besides the fact that you're getting your product in front of a lot of people that you might not have access to normally, is consistent orders. If your product is selling well in these stores, those stores are obviously going to keep buying from you. And you can get, monthly orders from, if you're in a couple different stores, you could be getting monthly orders and monthly revenue, and consistent money coming in is really important to a brand new business. So it's what basically keeps the lights on. It's what lets you save up and, do additional projects and take on additional clients, is that consistent money. So wholesale to me, very important. My goal is to be in as many stores as I can. Currently I'm in 32. I want to be in many, many more. So you're always looking for that relationship with a retailer to further expose your brand to new customers. Okay, so that's wholesale, and we love wholesale. Okay, so the second one that a lot of people ask about is called private label. And private label, what that means is that a company, usually a home fragrance company, maybe a store, maybe another candle company, or somebody that sells kind of home products or candle products, or, it could even be maybe like a spa, but it's a company that wants you to collaborate or create an entire line of candles. It actually could be just one candle, but usually there's a creation process, there's a collaboration, okay? So with private label, you are contacting constantly with that retailer, and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what wax do they want? What kind of vessel do they want? What kind of fragrances are they looking for? Sometimes they want you to come up with custom fragrances. Are they gonna want me to put all the labels on? Am I gonna be drop shipping to their customers? You know, there's a lot of things that go into private label, and that's why private label, in my opinion, is what you should charge the most for. Because it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of time. So again, private label, if say you're contacted by a spa, and the spa says, yes, we have a skincare line and we would like candles to go along with our skincare line. We want to create a line of 6 candles. We want them to have a certain feeling or theme. We want, you know, this kind of vessel. We want it to look like this. We want wooden wicks. We want, you know, they're very specific as to what they want. But at the end of the day, it's their company's label that is getting put on that candle. So basically that candle's passing off as their product. That's private label. Again, and it's where you're creating something specifically for a business, and their label is going to be on it at the end of the day, and they're going to pass it off as theirs. So a good example of this would be like Target brand candles. Obviously, Target doesn't sit there and make candles, but they do have a company that makes candles for them to their specifications that they then put the Target label on. So that would be, you know, they have different collections and things like that. So that would be an example of a private label. And again, they're selling it as a Target product, even though Target didn't make it. Okay, so that's private label. And again, we like private label because 1, you get to charge a little bit more, and I'll explain that in 1 second. And then 2, you want that consistency in sales. With private label, since they're selling candles just as you would, you want that traffic, you want those sales, because they're gonna order more and more and more from you. So you do get the consistency in sales that you would get from wholesale. So private label is fantastic. Now, pricing wise, what I always do is, obviously you're gonna have multiple conversations with your client, and you're gonna go over exactly what they want. Then you're gonna price it all out. What is it gonna cost you to make, you know, that first initial order? And just a little side note, I don't accept private label orders under 500 candles. So for me, in order to make it worth my while, it has to be at least 500 candles. You could have a lower MOQ if you want, or a higher one. It's totally up to you. But I would definitely set a certain number of candles that makes it worth your while. So for me, it's 500. And then you need to figure out, what is it gonna cost? The vessels, the wicks, the wax, the fragrances, the labels, the shipping to them, all of that. What is all of that gonna cost? And then on top of that, you're gonna wanna add a candle pour fee, which is what I call it. So obviously you need to make your money back. Whatever money you're spending on supplies, you have got to pay that back, right? You have to make that back. So what you want is to then, on top of that, charge a fee per candle for your time. And that can range anywhere from a few dollars to $10 or $15, depending on the complexity of the candle. You know, are you creating the fragrances and then pouring them and then doing like decorative floral, you know, things on top? Are you doing gemstones on top? Things are gonna take extra time. All those things kind of matter when it comes to your pricing. So for me, I think it's just easiest to total the amount of product that it's gonna cost you, the materials, and then on top of that, add your per candle pour, I call it a pour fee. So my fee for pouring the candle and finishing it and everything, my time, basically. So that's a good way to get started on private label. if you want. And like I said, it can be very profitable, and it can be also a great kind of consistent paycheck for you monthly. So definitely important. Now, the last one gets kind of confused with everything else is called white label. So what is white label? White label is basically a company that would never in a million years make candles. And they want a candle with their company's logo on it, or their sticker or something, where they can either give it to their clients or sell it to their clients, but it's very obvious that it's not anything they made. Okay, so for example, an insurance company, like a mortgage insurance company, every time that they sign for a new house, they give the new owners of the house once, congratulations, they get a candle, and the candle has the mortgage company's name and information on it. Again, your name and information is nowhere on there except for the warning label, but it's nowhere on the main label. So again, you're going to charge a little bit more because you're not getting that exposure of your name. It's not technically your candle brand that is being promoted. It is the company that's paying for the candle. I will say though, a lot of the times with these, what's nice is that they're choosing candles you already make. So for example, I make a candle called Island Nectar. And so if I had a client who loves that smell and, they want 100 of them and they want it with their company's, logo on it, then that would be a white label because it's my candle that I already make. I'm not creating anything new for them. It's an existing candle, but it's going to have their logo and the name of their business on the label. So that's what white label is. There's not really this whole big creation process where they're choosing vessels and fragrances and designing things. It's not like that. It's literally taking your candle and sticking their label on it. That's what white label is. And then just a note about private and white label. Even though on the main label, your business logo is not on it, your business information does have to be on the warning label underneath, so that if there's ever an issue with the candle, it needs to be traced back to you. So do keep that in mind, that your business name, website, city, state, and zip code do need to be on the warning label, regardless of if it's wholesale, private label, or white label. Because again, if there's an issue with the candle, it needs to be traced back to the company that actually produced and made the candle. So I hope this video was informative. I hope that you are able to now differentiate between wholesale, private label, and white label, and that you've seen the advantages of all three of them. To me, wholesale will always be my bread and butter, but I'm having so much fun doing private label and white label orders as well. It's always wonderful to have the extra consistent income because, like I said, that's what funds your business. That's what helps you move on to other projects, is that consistency in sales, which is really, really important. So definitely be on the lookout for companies that you can collaborate with and maybe do a private label, or in your area, find, real estate agents or insurance brokers or hair salons, people that would like to either sell or give as a gift a candle with their logo and their brand on it, because then it's promo for them. Who doesn't love getting a candle as a gift? And then it's consistent business for you. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. As always, if you like this content, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.